What's up, y'all? Jordan here. I am going to show y'all how to make our carnitas because we're doing those on special this week. So let me show y'all what's up. Alright, so I'm going to start out with a pork butt. Bone in. You can use boneless, really any kind of, or carnitas cut from the grocery store. But this is what we already buy, so this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to start by, if you see here, we got the bone. So I'm going to take that bone out so I can actually cut this thing into strips, and then I'm going to grill the pieces of pork. Okay, so now that we got that bone out, I'm going to cut this thing into strips. I can fillet it into two. There we go. Throw this bone over here. We got something like so, you know, just because I'm going to cut it into little pieces here in a bit, or into like cubes, chunks, whatever. But this will be able to be seasoned and grilled, so we'll get some of that smoky flavor on it. I'm going to grab my wonderful Fiesta brand chicken rub because that's what I got here, and it kind of tastes good on this stuff. So I'm just going to put a little in my hand and sprinkle it on the pork. I guess I could bring this back into the camera so y'all can see what I'm doing. Just like so. Flip these bad boys over. I'm not putting a whole lot on there, just kind of a little bit, because there's going to be seasoning already in the stewing process that we're going to do after we're done with grilling. We're out here with our Weber kettle, trusty, had her for years, falling apart on us now, but still holding up a little bit. So we're going to take these pork steaks, just kind of throw them down here on the Weber, which coming down here and showing the fire. We burnt down a couple logs and made some coals, and now we got just a couple chunks on there for the smoke. So we're not cooking them at this point. We're just trying to get a sear on the outside, help lock on that make a little bark, I guess, to lock in that seasoning. But we're not actually going to cook it up to temp because we're going to cook it on in a pot. So I'm just stacking these on there because, like I said, it's not to be perfect. Fit as much as I can on that fire, and we're gonna let them go. All right, you see that fire? We're getting a little bit of crispies. It's probably been like 2 minutes. Okay, see that? So we'll just flip it and kind of go down the line and do the same thing. This one still needs a little time. Boom, boom. There's fat on these porks, so they will probably start flaring up more now that I'm flipping them. So just beware of that whenever you're doing this at home, if you do this at home. You also can just do this in a pot if you don't really care about the smoke flavor. I've got everything cubed up. As you can see, real rare, like I was saying still, but it's got that nice little charred edge. Smoke should be on there, at least a little bit. We're gonna put it in the smoker later too. But at this point, I didn't show y'all this, but earlier today I made a homemade red sauce. I didn't cook it or anything, but I took a couple cans of tomato sauce and some whole peeled tomatoes, and then I put a bunch of chili powder, some ancho powder, I don't know. Oh, this stuff. If you're cooking, where's that? These bad boys. Put one of those in there for flavor too. A bunch of cumin. But I start out with this in the pot, so I dump it in there. Boom. Okay. And then usually in my table sauces or salsas, whatever, I like them to be chunky. So I'm gonna but since I'm cooking it right now, I don't do it. I blend all that stuff. So this goes in now. Raw onion. It's a little over a cup, probably a cup and a quarter. Just under a full large onion. Got some cilantro. Right here, about a cup. Boom. Garlic, very rough chop. Boom. And now, I need to take my spoon and just kind of mix that all in. So I'm gonna let this start to heat up, but here in just a little bit, I'll add a little water and kind of thin this out, because as you can see, it's pretty thick. And you're gonna want this to almost be a liquid for it to braise in. As it heats up though, it'll kind of also thin out a little bit. Okay, y'all, it's been probably 2 or 3 minutes. This thing's been getting it on high, and it's kind of starting to bubble like a boil. It's thinning out a little bit, but it still needs liquid, so I went ahead and filled up that salsa container. As you can see, it's red water now. We're gonna dump that until I can kind of, there we go. Let's see it right over the not beef, I was about to say beef, over the pork. Let's see, mix it again. Still a little thicker than I want it, so I'm gonna add a little more liquid. Okay. Mix it up again. And you have to know this is gonna boil for quite a while, because you're stewing this essentially. I mean, I guess you are stewing it, not essentially, but you're stewing it, and it's going to take a while to break down and cook all this pork until it shreds. So this thing's going to keep thickening, so you may have to add water later, but this is about, if you can get down here, this is about how thick I like to keep it. It's like still salsa-y, but thinner. We're checking in on the carnitas now that we're done with the green sauce. As you can see, they are still cubed up, but whenever I take my spoon, I can easily just start to cut through them and break them, and they're kind of turning into pieces like that. So what I'm gonna do now is take this and I'm gonna move it into like a disposable pan and put it on the smoker to get a little more smoke in this, like broth or salsa or whatever braising liquid. And then we will take it off the smoker, let it rest for a little bit. We're gonna shred it, and then we're gonna throw it into the fridge overnight, let all those flavors kind of like absorb into the meat, almost like a chili or something. The next day it's a little bit better. So tomorrow we will reheat this on the smoker again, let the braising liquid break down a little more, thicken up a little more, and they'll be ready to go. So it's Thursday. I reheated it, did all that shit I said I was gonna do, and here we are. I got some tortillas with some melted cheese on them. Boom, boom, baby. All right. This carnita goodness, look at this. That's what it turned out like. A little onion and cilantro. Whew. Not saying it's white boy magic, but something like that.